What's going on, Sacred Takes team? Welcome back to another tutorial today. Today we're going to be going over this insane stack up building growth inside After Effects and Photoshop. I've seen a lot of Instagram reels doing this effect, so I had to do my own research and figure out how to do it. Shout out to my guy 11% YouTube channel. I'm gonna drop his link down below in the description, and he had a tutorial on how to do this, so shout out to him. If you guys new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure to hit that like button so YouTube could continue to push out my videos to new editors and new content creators as well. With that being said, let's hop straight into After Effects. I'd advise you guys to use a tripod for this shot, or if you're using a drone as I did, make sure it's stationary and not moving too much, because it's easier to do this effect this way. With that being said, as you can see, I have a drone stationary shot right here. There wasn't any movement in the shot, so it's going to be easy to replicate this effect. First thing what you're going to want to do is head up to composition, go to save frame as, file, head down to your output model. Let's change that Photoshop sequence to PNG sequence. You could do Photoshop sequence, but I'm just changing it to PNG sequence. Press OK. Go to output to and choose where you want to save the screenshot to. It should render out pretty quickly. I forgot to mention we're doing this step because we're taking a screenshot of the composition. Once we have that screenshot saved, we're going to hop into Photoshop as I did right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove this building from the scene. And it's pretty easy to do. You're going to head over to this box right here and you're going to select your building. Once that's selected, you're going to press generative fill. You're going to type remove building and put an empty lot, and you're gonna press generate and just let it do its thing. This is a crazy AI tool that Photoshop has added recently, guys. I highly suggest you look into this generative fill tool. It's very beastie. As you guys can see, once it's done generating, it did a pretty good job at removing the building, and they give you a couple options to work with. I think the first one is the cleanest. So once you have that, you're gonna head up to File, Export, Quick Export as PNG, and save it to your computer. Once it's saved, head back into After Effects, throw it into the composition. As you can see, the top layer, we have our PNG without the building. If I disable it, we have the house right there. Pretty fire. First thing we're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to Control D on the clip with the building, make a duplicate of it, and then we're gonna rename the clips. I'm gonna rename this to 1 and 2. I'm just renaming it so we could be organized. I only duplicated it twice because I only have 2 parts of the building I'm gonna be working with. But if your building's a little bit taller and it has 3 or 4 parts to work with, make sure you duplicate it more. So now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna head over to our pen tool. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit just so I can be very precise. First thing I'm gonna be masking out is the foundation of the house. For the tutorial's sake, I'm gonna do a very rough mask, but obviously guys, if you're working for a client, make sure you're very precise on this step. So now if I disable the bottom clip, you can see we masked out the foundation of the house. Now we're gonna go to that second clip and we're gonna mask out the top half of the house. So now if I disable the top one, you can see we got the top of the house. Disable the top, see we got the bottom. Now the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate that bottom layer. We're gonna rename it to bottom. We're gonna press M on our keyboard, press on the mask and press delete, so we delete the mask from it and it's just a clean footage, no mask. And we're gonna duplicate it one last time. Promise you guys, the last time we're duplicating, go back to the bottom and change that to, we're gonna rename that to top. Now what you're gonna want to do is we're gonna drop this top layer to the top, right underneath the PNG, but directly above the first mask that we did. Now we're gonna head to that top clip that we just duplicated. We're gonna do one more mask, and this mask is gonna be the mask that's gonna be making the house look like it's coming out from the bottom. So make sure you mask out the bottom. So as you can see, I did an outline from the bottom of the house, came all the way around, closed it up again. So this mask right here is essentially for making the building pop out of the ground. Now that we got the masking out the way, it's time for the animation. So we're gonna go back to that first clip that we masked. We're gonna skip a couple frames in just so we can establish that there was actually nothing there before this effect. You're gonna bring the transform tools up, keyframe position, go a couple frames back, and we're gonna bring that bottom half down. As you can see, it's hidden underneath the ground. So now if we play it back, you can see it kind of just pops in. Now we're gonna go to our other mask. We're gonna do the same thing. Skip a couple frames, keyframe the position, go a couple frames back, bring that position back down. After you do that, you're gonna go to your screenshot, enable it. Once you enable it, there's a clean plate. You're gonna bring that down over here to the bottom. We'll leave the bottom plate at the bottom. And now when we play it back, you can see it stacks up into place. Pretty fire. After we completed all those steps, we're gonna select all these clips. I'm gonna right click, pre-compose. Move all attributes to new composition. This is some extra little sauce, guys. We're going to be using Brian's Shake Sauce plugin. If you guys don't have this plugin, you could go to Brian Delamita's website. I'll link it down below to get the Shake Sauce. I highly recommend it. It's a fire plugin. Or you could also buy Sapphire Shake. As you can see, I have Shake Sauce ready to use. I'm going to double click on the X Shake Intense. And it automatically loads in. Pulls out Shake Sauce. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that position amplitude down to 0. I'm gonna go to where it's about to start stacking up. Set a keyframe on position amplitude. As it's stacking up, I'm gonna bring that amplitude up to say 30. Is at that subtle shake. Give it a couple of frames over, bring it back down to 0. And once the other part starts coming up, I'll bring that amplitude back up to 30. Couple frames, back down to 0. Now when we play it back, you see it gets a little shake when it starts stacking up. Pretty fire. Alright guys, and that's the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys were able to learn something new. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe button. I'm dropping tutorials every single week. Don't forget to hit that like button so YouTube could continue to pushing out my videos to further content creators and editors. Comment down below what you want to see next. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial. Peace.